everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week I am 37 weeks pregnant, so we're going to talk about that, how baby's doing, how I'm doing, and we are going to talk about labor snacks. If you like pregnancy updates and eventually if you want to see and meet our new little one, then I would encourage you to go ahead and click subscribe to our channel, The Daily Deals, and you can also click the bell and it will notify you when we post a video every week. Today is Monday, April 12th, and I am 37 weeks pregnant. This week, baby is the size of a honeydew melon, a tackle box, and a skunk. Baby is probably measuring somewhere around 19 inches and could grow possibly up to 21 inches before birth or more. And they're weighing about 6 pounds. They could be adding a ½ ounce a day until birth or a ½ pound a week. This week, baby is considered early term or near term. Their systems are developed enough to work outside the womb. All of their reflexes are working as well, which means they're grasping, and if we were able to give our hand to our baby at this point, they would be able to grab our finger. This week's ultrasound, we weren't really able to see baby practicing their breathing like they were last week. However, we did see wiggly fingers again, and they were sucking not on their thumb or their fingers, but on their knuckle on the back of their hands. Their little face was smushed up against where the wand was, where the ultrasound Doppler was. We have the cutest little image of them with their cheeks smushed together and their lips smushed up against. It's just the cutest thing ever. I live for their little chunky cheeks and their big lips. Oh, I like I say every week, every time I see baby on the ultrasound, I just fall in love all over again. At 37 weeks, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm still nesting. I'm still having a little trouble sleeping. I'm still feeling Braxton Hicks from time to time. Again, like I've explained before, I don't feel it as in pain. I feel it like I go to bend over and my belly is tight. And I've been feeling Braxton Hicks almost every day, but they don't cause me any pain, and so I'm not really too upset about it. My hands and feet are pretty swollen, and I am really thirsty. I'm just constantly thirsty, and I want to drink anything, but ice water seems to be the only thing that really quenches that thirst. So I try to drink plenty of water throughout the day, sometimes a little coffee, sometimes a little bit of diet soda here and there as a treat. Also, I went to the chiropractor this week. Now, I am not someone that grew up going to the chiropractor. My family does not go to the chiropractor. Brian does not go to the chiropractor. I just have never been. I've been to a DO, which is a little bit similar, but I am not someone who regularly goes to the chiropractor. And I had a lot of people saying, yeah, if you're having trouble with sciatica, you should go to the chiropractor. Chiropractor is great during pregnancy, on and on and on. And I was like, no, I don't really go to the chiropractor. Our insurance doesn't cover it. It's just one of those things that I'm like, no, that's an extra thing. We don't really do that. When I tell you it was life-changing, please hear me. If you are pregnant and your doctor recommends to you going to the chiropractor, listen, heed their advice and heed mine. It was amazing. So I found a chiropractor in Fairbanks who is trained in the Webster method, which is a method of chiropractic work specific to pregnant women. And she has a drop table. The really cool thing was the way her table worked. I could actually lay on my stomach, and she lowered part of the table so my stomach could hang, and the relief of that feeling was incredible. Before I turned like 25 or 26 and started having back trouble, I was a stomach sleeper. As soon as my back started giving me issues, the first thing Brian said was, you gotta stop sleeping on your stomach. That's the worst possible positioning if you have back trouble. And so I kind of broke myself of the stomach sleeping habit, but I'm really tired or when I really need to be comforted, I find myself going back to laying on my tummy. And I've not been able to do that during pregnancy for obvious reasons, especially now that my belly is a little bit bigger. And so just the sensation of being able to lay on a table on my stomach and there's room for my stomach to hang, it felt so good. And she asked to see me every week until I give birth. So I'm gonna continue going because I felt so much relief from it. I also had a few friends that said, hey, after you do give birth and you feel, you know, you're ready to kind of like enter the world again and go to appointments again, you should start going back to the chiropractor because it can be really helpful after a birth as well. So that's something I'm gonna look into. Our chiropractor has a rewards program, so it actually is not too expensive every week, and it's a good investment because it makes me feel so good. And after we move, I don't know that I'll continue it, but it might be nice to do throughout the summer, just as I'm trying to kind of get back in my body and feel like myself again. Another thing that Brian and I did this week, we installed the base of the car seat and we practiced putting the car seat in and out of the car. My in-laws gifted us the Duna stroller, which is a car seat that has wheels on it. I'll put a little picture right here. It's a car seat that has wheels on it, and so when you take it out of the car, you push a button and the wheels come down and it's a stroller. So we practiced taking the car seat out of the car, propping the wheels down for the stroller, and putting it back into car seat mode and putting it back into the car. And we practiced that because we didn't want to get to the hospital and not know how to put in the car seat. Now, we aren't riding around with the car seat in the car because if we were to get into a wreck or something, God forbid, we wouldn't want to have to buy a whole new car seat because the car seat got damaged in the wreck. Our hospital bags are now packed around and inside our car seat so that when we go and we start to grab bags, we'll also grab the car seat and bring that along with us. Another really sweet and exciting thing that happened this week. On Saturday, I went to have brunch with my Bible study women, a group of ladies that I do Bible study with once a week. On Saturday, I very unsuspectingly went to Bible study and they had put together a surprise baby shower for me, and it was so special. I felt so much love, and it just felt really special. Felt really nice to have this community of women who have been with me from the beginning of my whole journey. They were with me, holding me and loving on me and hugging me and praying with me after my miscarriage. They were with me for the 18 months Brian and I went through of unexplained infertility, and they've been with me since day one, since I was able to tell them, guess what, I'm pregnant. They've been with me since then too. So being able to share in this moment with them was so special. At the end of the baby shower, they all gathered around me and put their hands on me and just prayed for me and for my labor, and they prayed for my baby and for the change that our family is going to see. They prayed for Brian, and just hearing their joy at our happiness with this new little one, it was just really special. I didn't cry when they surprised me, and I didn't cry like at points throughout the day, even though I was really moved by all the work they had put in and all the nice things they had done for the day. But having my community, having my women around me with their hands on me, showing me love and praying for me and praying for my baby and my new little family was just so special. There was no way that I wasn't gonna just burst into tears, and especially knowing that they had been with me through this entire journey, and here we are coming out the other side with our new baby here in a couple weeks. So it was so special and so exciting. And they all were so careful to make all the treats that I could have, even keto cupcakes, which are delicious. Brian and I have been eating them all weekend, eating the leftovers because they're so good. I will say my favorite treat that I had was probably the most bizarre treat that I had too, but I have to share. My friend Heidi she took dill pickle slices, which you guys know I love pickles, covered them in cream cheese, and then wrapped them in bacon. And I know those sound like three weird things to go together. So good. If you have gestational diabetes or if you're keto or low carb, highly recommend. They are delicious. I am in my second week of my 9th month of pregnancy, and we have 3 weeks left until my guest date. Last week's video got really long, so I decided to break it up into segments. Last week we talked about what was in my bag, and I got a lot of comments from my friends on Facebook who have given birth and gone through labor with a lot of suggestions, and some of them were things I didn't think of, and some of them were things that I had packed, but I had packed in baby's bag, or Brian was packing in his bag, or we had in our snack bag, and I hadn't gotten to those bags yet because, like I said, I filmed all of that last week, and then I was like, oh my gosh, this video is like over an hour long. I can't post an over an hour long video. This week, we're gonna talk about our snack bag, what snacks we have prepared, and what snacks we are planning on having for the process of labor. I do have a doula that's gonna be coming to our house in the early stages of labor and staying with us as long as possible so that we don't have to go to the hospital until the very last minute. Not the last minute, not like we're thinking we might have the baby in the car on the way to the hospital, but not going into the hospital until it's necessary and being able to labor at home for as long as possible. So not all of the labor snacks that I'm gonna mention are ones that are going to the hospital with us. They might just be things that I'm gonna have here at home to snack on, and some of them will go to the hospital to be treats after I give birth or treats for Brian. We don't know what the hospital food is gonna be like. That is one of the only things that I have heard negative about the hospital where I'm delivering, is that the food is not great. However, I'm thinking we'll be able to have food delivered, so that might be nice. I grew up eating public school lunches almost my entire life and enjoyed them, had no issues with them. All of my friends would bring lunch and I'd be like, why are you guys bringing lunch? There's lunch here, it's great. So sometimes people are pickier eaters than I am and may not like the hospital food, and maybe I will. In fact, I grew up living in lots of little small towns all over the state of Georgia, and sometimes the only place to go eat on Sundays would be the hospital cafeteria, and we would go eat in the hospital cafeteria Sunday after church. So, you know, it's, I guess, to each their own. So in the event that the food at the hospital isn't great, we are gonna bring some food to the hospital with us, but we're not gonna like roll up in there with a cooler bag or something like that. I also spoke with my midwife this week, and I asked her about the process of labor as far as gestational diabetes is concerned. I know I can't like go nuts and eat a whole cake while I'm in labor, but would it be okay for me to kind of not super be concerned with my blood sugar and what I'm eating during labor? And she assured me that my body was working so hard during labor that it would be okay if I ate cookies or ate sweets that I didn't normally eat due to my gestational diabetes. She also told me, make sure you don't eat anything that you would be upset if you saw it again later. I am not, I'm not the kind of person that, I don't vomit a lot. I hardly ever vomit, and when I do, it's because I'm very sick. I'm not the kind of person that can like wake up, throw up, and move on about my day. If I throw up, I am down for the count for the rest of the day. Thankfully, I did not vomit at all in the first trimester of my pregnancy. I was nauseous almost every day, but I never actually threw up. So the concept of eat things that you're okay if you throw them up, I'm like, that's nothing. There's nothing I'm okay to throw up. I don't want to throw up. So that's kind of a little worry that I have, throwing up during like transition. We'll see. I'm gonna need to eat things. I'm assuming labor is going to be a long process, and I'm gonna need to be able to keep my energy up. One more little disclaimer that I want to add. I can anticipate comments. Maybe people think you aren't allowed to eat in labor, and I would just encourage you to look that up and research that. Some hospitals do have that rule, but that's basically based on a study that came out in like the 60s, I think. I'm having to jump back to my evidence-based childbirth class that we finished up, but in that class we did learn that that's based on a study that was in the 60s. Hospitals take a little while to catch up to evidence, and that seems counterintuitive in your brain, but it just takes a long time for evidence to come out and for practices to change. So it's not actually evidence-based to not allow the birthing person to eat during labor. So I understand that some hospitals may have that policy. Luckily, the hospital where I'm planning to deliver does not have that policy, and also my midwife supports evidence-based birth, and so she is a proponent of, if you want to eat, eat. And I'm really thankful for that, because again, I may not feel like it, but it will be nice to have the option if that is something that I want. I would just encourage you to look up information about snacking and eating during labor, because there is some outdated info that was the reason for hospitals saying you can't eat during labor. So all of that to say, this is what we are bringing for labor snacks while we're in active labor at home and when I go to the hospital to give birth. The first thing that I'm packing as far as what's going in my snack bag is super important. Straws. Not just straws, but bendy straws, because there will likely be situations where I'm laboring and a straw that doesn't move is gonna be harder to get to than being able to bend and drink water from. And it's really important to me to stay hydrated throughout my labor because I don't wanna have to be given fluids through an IV. So straws are gonna be very important. I'm packing 2, but I have a ton more. And then I'm gonna, of course, pack some of my drinking cups in my water bottle. And I'm showing you first the foods that I have, and then we'll talk about what we still have to buy. That's coming up. And a lot of this is processed. So you guys are probably gonna be like, this is a lot of processed food, but we fully plan to have a full stocked fridge of fruit and vegetables for me to snack on. And that's just something that here in Alaska, we have to get that at the last minute, because if not, it will go bad really quickly. So that's probably something that when I feel that first contraction at home, I'm gonna send Brian up to the grocery store to get fruit and vegetables because I want those to be as fresh as possible. I love fruits and vegetables, but if you like fruits and vegetables too, you know that when they're not fresh, they're not as good. And I certainly don't wanna be snacking on mushy grapes or mushy strawberries or anything like that. So we're gonna hold off on those. Don't worry, there are things that I will be snacking on during labor that are not processed, but now here's all my processed stuff. The first thing is goldfish, and these are actually Mickey Mouse goldfish, which I'm stupid excited about for no reason. I heard a lot and read a lot about getting easy snacks, things you can just pop into your mouth. You need something you can just snack on really quickly. So I think goldfish are gonna be a really good thing just to pop in my mouth really fast when I just need some food, some sustenance. I'm also going to pack a variety of bars. So I'm planning on buying some Cliff bars as well because I really like Cliff bars. Peanut butter is my favorite. Chocolate brownie's not so bad either. But some other bars that I know I'm going to be bringing are these Verb bars. This is peppermint mocha. I really, really love these. I'm going to put a little code for these down in the description box, and then I'll probably add it right here as well because you can get $10 off if you use my code. I love these Verb energy bars. They are the same amount of caffeine as a shot of espresso, but they use green tea to make them. They don't taste like green tea, they taste delicious. But they use green tea to make them so that it's not super jittery. So it's just a little burst of energy, which will be super helpful throughout labor. Like I said, this is peppermint mocha. I also have some blueberry crisp, and my order this month that's coming is chocolate chip banana bread, so that's gonna be really good too. Also, they are gluten-free, dairy-free, and vegan, so I love these little bars, and their customer service is really great. They actually text me every month and say, hey, do you want your regular order, or do you want something different? And it's super easy. I just text them. I don't have to log onto the computer and log into my account or anything like that. They just text me, I tell them what I want, and they place my order for me monthly. And they have a sample bag, I don't know if that's what they call it, but they have a starter kit where they'll send you their 4 most popular flavors and you can pick which one you like. That way you can get a bag full of the flavor that you like the most. I love peppermint mocha, and I really like the blueberry crisp. Peanut butter is delicious, of course. There's a chai flavor. I think there's a chocolate as well. Anyway, love these little bars. They're awesome. I have been attempting to eat dates because they are helpful in softening your cervix and helping you go into labor. Studies show that women who eat 3 large dates a day starting at, I believe, 36 weeks, they actually go into labor. It can help you go into labor, basically. I can link the study below if you're curious. However, I tried to eat dates. I've eaten them before, but I just don't like them. I just don't like them anymore. I guess my palate changed once I got pregnant. So then I started thinking, well, I'm not gonna be able to eat dates every day, so I'm gonna buy date bars. So I got these Lara bars. I have chocolate chip cookie dough and peanut butter chocolate chip, and they have very minimal ingredients. So this one only has 4, this one only has 6, and the first ingredient is actually dates. I looked it up and it's only really like a date per bar, but I've been eating about 2 a day. And they're like a really good quick breakfast. They're really filling. They're perfect for me to snack on before bed. And I love that they don't have a ton of ingredients, but they do have a ton of different flavors. So this week with my grocery order, I actually got lemon and blueberry. So I'm gonna try those, but these are great. I won't go so far as to say that they taste like a candy bar, but they would just give me a little energy and a little sustenance during labor, and I've been really enjoying them. Now we have to talk about the treasures that I've been saving specifically for labor, because I knew I would be able to have a little bit of sugar during labor. So I've been holding on to these. I am bringing my Girl Scout cookies. I ordered them. I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes, and then a week later I got my cookies that I had ordered and couldn't eat them. Full disclosure, I did buy 2 or 3 boxes of these, and I would eat like 1 cookie a day, but I've been saving a box for labor. These are my 2 favorites. I don't want to say, oh, I'm so unique, no one likes the flavors I like, but I don't like the flavors that everyone else likes of Girl Scout cookies. My favorites are Do-si-dos, which are like the peanut butter sandwich cookies, and Lemon Ups, which used to be called lemonades. I love those too. I also have a box of Thin Mints in the freezer that will be specially reserved for after I get back home as my little treat. I'm also going to get some popsicles because I know those are going to be really yummy and help kind of like push me through like a little sugar burst and help me stay hydrated as well. As far as drinks go, of course, lots and lots of ice water, and I purchased, I think I got 4 different flavors of Gatorade Zero, so the like 0 sugar Gatorade, and I got those with my groceries this week, so they'll be in the fridge ready to go. I like cold Gatorade. I can't drink many things room temperature. I like things to be cold when I drink them. So I think Gatorades are gonna be great to keep me hydrated, have like a little flavor more than just ice water. The other thing that I have been drinking lots during my pregnancy, and something that's gonna be really helpful to me during labor, are these little Ningxia pouches. So this is actually a wolfberry supplement from Young Living, and it's really sweet. This is a 2-ounce pouch, and it's really great to give like a burst of energy. Sometimes around like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, I'm whooped and I want a cup of coffee, and sometimes I will have a cup of coffee, but sometimes this is a better thing for me to reach for. It's really great for like immune boosting, and I just love them. They're super tasty, and I get them in these little pouches because you typically drink them in like a 2-ounce dose, which is this little pouch, but you can also get them in this big glass bottle, which is nice too. But I think these are gonna be great. I'm actually gonna drink this right now. I think this is gonna be great for giving me a little burst of energy and keeping me hydrated and just having a little bit of yumminess to help me through labor. So I mentioned that we're gonna wait until kind of the last minute to get fruit and vegetables for me to snack on. Another thing that I've not been able to track down yet, but that I plan to purchase for labor, are honey sticks. Do you hear that little cat coming downstairs? Hey buddy, you been napping upstairs? Yeah, he's so cute. Honey sticks were actually recommended to me by my midwife. She said they're a really good way to just like get some sugar, get a burst of energy, and I haven't been able to find them yet just at the grocery store. I think I'm gonna have to go to the health food store tomorrow between my appointments and grab a few, but that's something we plan on getting. And there were a few things that I talked about in my birth class with my midwife, and she said, hey, don't worry about that. The hospital will have that, so you don't have to bring that with you to the hospital. And that was just things like bananas, jello, pudding, stuff like that. So those I'm just gonna let the hospital provide and not worry about it, because I think we will have enough snacks. Again, I don't know how long this is gonna go. I don't know how long my labor will be. I don't know if I'll even be hungry. I mean, I know myself well enough to know that I probably will be hungry. I don't know what I'm going to want to eat. I don't know how often I'm gonna wanna eat. So much like everything, I'm walking into this blindly and just hoping that I'm prepared enough that I have what I need. And we're really fortunate that as long as it's like, I guess as long as I'm in labor during business hours, I can send Brian up to the commissary to grab a few things if I just need a popsicle fix or need a certain fruit or vegetable to munch on while I'm in labor here at home. I have heard that our hospital has Sonic style ice, and when I tell you, when I heard that news, that was like just the week that I read that on the Facebook group, I was like, this is the best news I've heard in so long. I have a real passion and a love for Sonic ice, and so the fact that the hospital is going to have that, I am so pumped. I'm going to chew so much ice during labor while I'm there because I love Sonic ice, and I'm so excited they're gonna have Pebble ice at the hospital. I just feel so secure in my choice now. So what snacks did you snack on during labor, especially if you had a really long labor? What things did you think you were gonna snack on, and then as you started labor you were like, no way, I can't possibly eat that? What things were like your life-saving snacks? Like, please tell me, let me know, because I'm a snacker anyway, and I think that snacks are going to be the way that I make it through labor. Thank you guys so much for watching my video today. If you liked it, just like I said at the beginning, go ahead and click subscribe and ring the bell so that you can get notifications when we post a video. You can also give my video a thumbs up, you can leave me a comment, or you can share it with a friend. All of those make me super happy. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week for our 38-week update.